You're staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m., running a mental loop of figures and dates. Is it 1 million? 2? But the question that really keeps you up is, when can I finally stop pouring every spare cent into these accounts? Here's the secret most financial advisors won't lead with. There is a precise mathematical tipping point where your personal contributions cease to matter. It is a moment when your portfolio's internal growth outpaces anything you could ever save from a paycheck. Most people are conditioned to think they must grind until they're 65. That's a myth. The real objective is finding the moment your money starts working harder than you do. Today we're breaking down the financial inflection point, why it arrives sooner than you've been told, and how to structure your life to hit it as fast as possible. Hit that subscribe button if you want to master the actual mechanics of wealth. The concept is straightforward. It is the exact day when your portfolio's annual capital gains exceed your annual savings. That's the shift. You move from being the person pushing the portfolio forward to the portfolio pulling you. Once you grasp this, your entire psychological relationship with saving changes forever. Let's look at a concrete model. Imagine you are investing $20,000 every year with an average 7% market return. At $100,000 invested, that 7% growth gives you $7,000. Your $20,000 contribution is still the heavy hitter. You are the primary engine. At $300,000 invested, that 7% return now generates $21,000. Suddenly, the market's contribution and your contribution are neck and neck. You're finally sharing the load with compound interest. At $500,000 invested, a 7% gain hands you $35,000. Your $20,000 contribution now looks like a modest addition compared to what the market just did for you. Compounding has taken the wheel, you're just the passenger. At $1 million invested, 7% growth generates $70,000. At this stage, your $20,000 contribution is almost a rounding error. The portfolio is an unstoppable force on its own. In the early stages, it feels like trying to spin a massive iron flywheel. You're pouring in massive amounts of energy, and it barely moves. But somewhere between that $300,000 and $500,000 mark, depending on your savings rate, the wheel gains enough inertia to spin itself. You aren't pushing anymore, you're just making sure nothing stops the momentum. Think of it like a commercial jet. You need full throttle and an immense amount of fuel, your savings, to leave the runway. But once you've reached cruising altitude, momentum and thin air do most of the work for you. The inflection point is your takeoff velocity. The real magic happens when we calculate the cost of stopping at different milestones. Let's stick to our $20,000 per year at 7% model. The baseline. If you never stop contributing, you hit $1 million in roughly 23 years. The $100,000 stop. It takes 5 years of work to save that $100,000. If you stop there and let it sit, it takes another 35 years to hit the million. Total, 40 years. Stopping too early cost you 17 years of your life. You never reached escape velocity. The $300,000 stop. This takes 11 years of contributions. From there, compounding needs 18 years to carry you to the million. Total, 29 years. You only delayed your goal by 6 years compared to the never stop plan, but you freed up $20,000 in your annual budget decades earlier. The $500,000 stop, this requires 15 years of grinding. If you stop now, the money grows to $1 million in just 11 more years. Total, 26 years. You are only 3 years behind the person who kept working themselves to the bone. This is the power of critical mass. This brings us to Coast Fire, the strategy of front-loading your suffering so you can coast for the rest of your life. You invest aggressively in your 20s and 30s until you hit a number that will grow into your retirement goal without another cent added. The freedom math. Say you want $2 million by age 65 and you are 30 today. At a 7% return, you only need $187,000 today. If you hit that number at 30 and never invest another dime, the laws of mathematics will still land you at $2 million by 65. This changes your 30s. You don't need a high-stress job for the paycheck anymore. You can pivot to a career you love, work part-time, or travel. The pressure is gone because the future is already paid for. To avoid burnout, you have to celebrate the small victories where compounding proves it's alive. The first $10,000. the proof of concept. You've shown you can beat your impulses. The first, $100,000. The hardest milestone, as Charlie Munger called it. This is where the inertia begins. The inflection point, when the market adds more to your net worth in a year than you do. Portfolio income greater than salary. The day your money out-earns your boss, this isn't luck, it's math. The $1 million comma, a cultural landmark that signifies you've won the game of critical mass. Basic expense coverage, when your portfolio could pay for your rent and groceries. This is your first real taste of autonomy. Work optionality. You work for legacy and meaning, not because you're one paycheck away from disaster. Remember, your pivot point is unique. If you are an aggressive saver, putting away $40,000 instead of $20,000, your crossover point happens later, around $700,000 to $800,000, because your personal engine is so powerful that it takes the market longer to overtake you. If the market returns 8 to 9% instead of 7%, the whole timeline accelerates. Wealth isn't built with one lucky trade. It's built through silence, consistency, and the quiet work of compounding in the background. The inflection point isn't just a math curiosity. It's the moment you realize the system is actually working for you. Your money is finally the primary breadwinner in the family, and once you cross that peak, your reality changes forever. It will happen even faster if you stop wasting capital on things that don't serve your future. See you in the next video.